Shalom, my friends. This was a big week in Washington, D.C. At the National Zoo, the giant panda Meijing gave birth to a cub. It's rare for a panda to give birth in captivity, and this was a wonderful event. Mother and baby are doing fine. And it introduces an important value in our tradition that we find in this week's Torah portion, Sa'ar Balei Chayim, prevention of cruelty to animals. It talks about the work of an ox and plowing. One verse says, you shouldn't put an ox and a donkey together in the same yoke. The commentary Eitz Chaim says, these animals are of unequal strength. If you yoke them together, the stronger could exhaust the weaker and cause it to stumble or become injured. The other, you should not muzzle an ox while it's threshing. In the ancient world, an animal, usually an ox, was used to thresh the grain. Sometimes it would walk over, sometimes it would pull a sled with metal studs. The animal would naturally want to stop and to eat whenever it was hungry. The farmer trying to save the grain might muzzle it, but this would be cruel to the animal. The greatest leaders in Jewish tradition, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac, Rebekah, Leah, Rachel, and Jacob, Moses and his wife Zipporah, all began as shepherds. There's a story about Moses as he was tending the flock, that first the youngest of the sheep would eat, then the oldest, and then those were strongest. God, seeing this, offered this interpretation, that as Moses was able to care for each of the lambs, each of the sheep, by its strength, by its needs, so too would Moses care for each of the children of Israel as an individual based on his or her needs. It's a wonderful and powerful idea from our tradition. Coming up shortly, there'll be another episode of our high holiday preparation. We'll be talking about the Torah honors, the Aliyot, and how we'll be experiencing them this year. Shabbat Shalom, my friends. Have a joyous, have a restful, have a peaceful Shabbat.